I'm in crisis. Welcome to the state of my midlife crisis. This is my first recap video. My name is Brandy, and I am 41, and I am experiencing a midlife crisis, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. And so I thought I can't be the only one doing this. Here I am starting my content creator journey as I'm navigating through a midlife crisis. That's me. Thank you. I'm starting this journey and I decided that I think it would be super beneficial for me and also for anyone who's following along on the journey to figure out what I'm doing and how I'm progressing through this. So, again, I am experiencing what I'm calling a midlife crisis. A lot of people are talking about a midlife glow up and a midlife reinvention, a midlife renaissance. I think those all sound like really great words, but I'm in crisis. This feels like an emergency. It feels like I'm dying and I need some help. I need help. Help me. Anyway, so I wanted to share my journey, all of the things that I know about myself and I'm learning about myself and how I plan to get the fuck out of this. Because it's not fun. So, a little bit about me if this is the first time you're joining me. I am 41, finna turn 42. I have had an extensive career in learning and development training and facilitation in the corporate world, and I hated every second of it. But I've gotten pretty good at talking to people. It turns out that's kind of my thing. I'll dig a little bit into that in some other videos in the future about the self discovery journey that I'm going through. But I got laid off 3 years ago, and I've tried to start a number of businesses in that meantime that were mostly corporate leaning. And frankly, none of them took off because I just didn't really want them to work. If I'm being completely honest with myself and with you. And because of that, I've had a bit of soul searching and acknowledge that I am in crisis. And I think it's because I've spent the first half of my life up until this point checking all the boxes that society says that I should. And that didn't work for me. I'm a Black woman in America. I have always had to work twice as hard to get half as much. And I'm tired of it. And honestly, the more I engage with people, the more I realize that people are just attracted to me the way I am naturally. And frankly, I should be getting paid for this. Y'all should be giving me money. Not you, necessarily you, just handing me money. If you just want that, you can just ask for my Cash App. But I really think that this should be my career. And now that I see a lot of younger people, the babies, doing this, and now this is a real career path, I feel like this is my moment. I'm actually going through something, and I know I'm not the only one. So why not document this, document my growth journey, start messy, start crazy, and share it with you? So that's what I'm doing. So let's first tell you a little bit about what my plan is going forward. So I was doing some research because I'm a research baby. I like looking things up because I like to know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time. And I started looking for content that was aimed at beginner or baby content creators like me. And I'm going to be honest, this is not my first time on this journey. I think my gosh, in the last 10 years or so, I've spent somewhere between 12 and $15,000 on coaching and programs and virtual courses, etc., for a number of things that are related to this. And I'm sure the programs are fantastic and great, but they didn't work for me, mostly because it's not how my brain works. And a lot of the advice is that fake it till you make it shit. And I hate that. I hate it with a passion. Ain't nothing fake about me. Ain't nothing fake about your girl. Get with it. So I wanted to find or align with someone who looked like me as a Black creator that can talk about life experiences. And I stumbled upon Jade Beeson, cute girl, British, Black. I love her. And she had a video that was like, hey, if you want to become a content creator in 2026, here's what you can do. And this, you take it from me. This is what I learned over my 5, 10 million years of doing it. But here's a good 12-week plan. And I watched that video right here about 3 times. One, to just see, one, is this a creator whose advice I would take? Do I believe you? Two, is this something that's doable for me? And three, is this something that I actually can commit to implementing? And she broke it down real easy. And I took notes and I put it in my Notion. And I was like, I think I can. I think I finally have all of the things in line to help me accomplish my goal. That's what I'm going to say. So Jade broke it down for 12 weeks, and this is the end of week 2, the beginning of week 3. So the first week was determining what's the thing I can talk about for a while. And turns out me. I'm the content. Yes. Can talk about my journey in self-discovery, my journey of moving back home and picking myself up from the bottom to hopefully get to the top and documenting that journey. Because this is what I know. This is what I feel like I'm an expert in. I'm an expert in the shit I fucked up and how I'm going to get out of it. That's me. So, week 2 of that was create lots of content, create messy, experiment, etc. Now, the first week I did exclusively talking head videos, and I'm going to be very honest, I think that's probably going to be a lot of my content. I really like talking. It's one of the reasons why I chose this path is I just really enjoy talking. I have to talk about anything. And even if I don't know it, I'll do some research on we can have an educated conversation about it. Even not even educated, I'll just give you my opinion. But I think that this is kind of content I want to lean towards. Additionally, I've been on the socials, looking for inspiration, and I wanted to experiment with some. I'm not going to be dancing. I'm probably not going to be using lots of trending audio. I can't imagine that I'm going to be following a lot of these trends that you see a lot of creators follow, mostly because at this point it feels overwhelming and I'm just now putting my face on camera and recording it. I do plan in this coming week, week 3, to try experimenting. So I already have an idea. I already have my content ideas for the next 6 or 7 days. And what I want to do is experiment. So, first one I'm going to do is a long form YouTube video daily. And I want it to be at least 5 minutes, but up to 15, just depending on the topic. And I want to do this one to up my watch hours because that's how you get monetized on YouTube. I want to do a long form video. Next, I want to do a short form. So something 2 minutes or less on the same topic. And I'm going to be using this with YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, and of course the talks. Then I also want to do a carousel style post of just like static words, images, between 4 and 10 or whatever the limit is. And I know I can do that for Instagram, and I'm pretty sure I can do that also on TikTok. I want to see how people respond to that content, get some data points. I love a little data. Yum. I'm going to do that, and that's what I am working on for the week 3, which is just creating content, getting a feel for what I'm doing. I have notes. Love a note. I wanted to talk about my stats. I'm not necessarily sure these are all stats that are worth measuring. And right now, I don't have a lot of stats. I think right now, the most meaningful metric for me is just tracking how many people have followed or subscribed. Let's dig into that. So, the first metric is Instagram. Now, I've told you I've been on this journey for a little while, which means I've had this Instagram account for a little bit. So I have erased all the old videos. I'm pretty sure I have. So this one didn't truly start at 0, but we don't act like it did anyway because really that old shit is irrelevant. So for the end of my first week of posting, but week 2 of Jade's 12-week strategy, I have, drumroll please, 58 followers, and I'm actually quite proud of that. Now, are they interactive? Not really, no. But that's probably my fault because I think a lot of them happened in the before time. I really wasn't posting or interacting or engaging, so we'll see how that grows. The next one is YouTube. Same situation. If you scroll through my page, you'll see stuff maybe a year or so ago. Again, we're going to act like we started from 0. For YouTube, I have a whopping 12 followers. We are really starting from the bottom. Okay. Finally, TikTok. Now, this one is truly 0. I downloaded TikTok because people kept sending me TikToks to watch, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to interact with y'all. I don't want to follow anybody. But for this, I re downloaded and I said, you know what? If we're going to be serious about this, let's work smarter, not harder. And a lot of the content I can create for shorts and for Instagram is very easily transferable to TikTok. And honestly, I'm really glad that I did because as of the time of this recording, I have 105 subscribers. I'm very excited about this. Also, I found the TikTokers are the most engaged. I actually would love to shout out Saren and Tiara on the tarmac as two of my new TikTok followers and maybe even TikTok friends. I don't know if you call them that, who have been so supportive in the DMs and in the comments. I've learned so much about them just through watching their videos and interacting in conversation. And I'm really excited about what this means and where it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go, but we're going to try it out and see. Hallelujah. So, I don't really have a goal necessarily for next week other than just creating the content and experimenting. Come next Monday, you'll see another video like this, and I have some takeaways for you, and we'll prepare for week 4. I'm really excited about this. I'm very nervous. Don't get me wrong. I'm very nervous, actually, quite terrified. But I'm excited because this feels like it's aligned with who I am. And part of my midlife crisis discovery arc, if you will, is being true to myself and kind of doing it scared, doing it anyway. A big issue that I've had throughout my entire life that was instilled in me at a young age is showing up perfect. And I think this is something that a lot of Black women go through. Not because, our parents or our caregivers hated us, because they know what it takes to survive. I think it's super important that we acknowledge that we have to do all of the things and be the jack of all trades and everything to everybody just to get barely the scraps has been a really damaging narrative. And having to play someone else's game doesn't always make you a winner, even if you're winning. I want to go into this next half of my life playing for myself and showing up for myself in the way I showed up for all of these other corporations, businesses, and people in my life. But this time, I actually want to have a positive return on investment from that input. I believe one in myself because your girl do be doing things. You gonna learn all about me through this process. But I think this is important. And I know I'm not the only Black woman. I know I'm not the only woman. I know I'm not the only Black millennial that is going through this process. I hope that in being transparent, showing myself messy and doing it scared and doing it not necessarily that great is going to be something that resonates with people. And I hope that this builds the career that I want. And this seems like a really great path to do so. Now, I hope that you guys follow along. I would love some input if you have a similar experience. If you're a Black woman, a millennial, a Black person, anybody who either is currently going through, feels like they're about to go through, is on the other side of a midlife crisis, I would love to hear about your experience. How you're feeling, what you're doing, what you ain't doing, all these things. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear, hopefully, positive feedback and cheers because I'm sensitive and I need love and positivity poured into me to be successful. So please follow along on the journey if it resonates with you. Yeah, that's it. I think we're going to end here. Okay. See ya.